This Friday Night Lights high school football preview show is presented by Villa Maria College, advancing educational opportunity for all of Western New York.
Jack Kreuzer here for BTPM's Friday Night Lights. Let's talk about Class B for football this year in Section 6. First things first, there will be a new sectional champion. Health Sciences is no longer in Class B. They move up to Class A, which opens the door for a number of teams that are eyeing down that top spot in Class B. Some team movement within the divisions. The first thing of note, there is no more B3 division, consolidated into just two divisions this year. It'll be a little easier for some teams to make the playoffs, because now the top four teams from both division will make the postseason. No more crazy math to do at the end of the year within the three divisions. The top four teams from Class B1 and B2 will make the postseason this year. Who are some of the teams that will be vying for the playoffs this year in Class B? Well, we start with one of the teams that's made it a home for themselves the last decade or so, the Pioneer Panthers. Coach Jim Dupre has built a dominant team down in Arcade in Yorkshire, New York. In his 24th season, Dupre has 120 career wins with the Panthers alone. They are in the B1 division this season, which is pretty wide open. Who knows who comes out on top of B1, but we'll have a good look at the Panthers Week 1 when they're at Lackawanna on Saturday, September 6th. Pioneer graduates a handful of the core players that they've had in recent years. Both Jabu brothers are now graduated. They're no longer on the team, and that presence of leadership also leaves as well. Not to mention, their three-year starting quarterback Gavin Schwab graduates in 2025 as well. Who replaces him at quarterback? How do the Panthers look to bounce back after not making the sectional championship last season? Head coach Jim Dupre certainly has high expectations for this new wave of Panthers that'll be led by the junior two-way starter Isaac Platt, the youngest of the Platt brothers that we've seen throughout the seasons. If Isaac can live up to what Sam just did for Pioneer in the last few years, well, the Panthers will be in pretty good shape. We move on to the Lackawanna Steelers, who have been dominant at their level for the last 2 years. Head coach Marcus Rivers has only lost twice in the last two seasons, both times in the playoffs. That Week 1 game when Lackawanna hosts Pioneer is non-league technically, but both teams being in Class B in separate divisions, it could be a preview of the sectional championship at the very start of the season. We'll see. But Lackawanna has to deal with some changes. They lose a couple of key players, including the Trench Trophy winner for the best lineman in Western New York. Sam Ikegwonu graduates. He's no longer a presence on the line or the locker room. Also, Lackawanna loses Tyrone Clark Jr. He was a tremendous running back and linebacker for them last year, a big reason why Lackawanna has a 17-2 record over the last 2 years. Clark Jr. transfers to St. Francis in the Monsignor Martin. He's not a worry for the other teams in Class B, but he also is a big loss for the Lackawanna Steelers. How will they make up for his loss? Well, perhaps it's Mekhi Scott. He transfers over from Maritime Tapestry this year, moves up, playing against larger competition. Perhaps Scott can help replace the hole that Tyrone Clark Jr. left for Lackawanna. At any level of football, coaches, GMs, anyone around the sport will tell you if you have a great quarterback, you have a chance to win week in and week out. Well, Iroquois and the Redhawks have just that. Justice Kleitz is one of, if not the best quarterbacks in Western New York this season, now entering his fourth year as a starter and a record breaker. Kleitz set the Section 6 passing yards record for yards in a season a year ago with over 3,200 passing yards as a junior. Kleitz returns for his senior year, and he's got his top wide receiver coming back with him. Senior Nick Skutnik enters his third year on the varsity team, over 1,200 receiving yards last year. Skutnik is shifty, late hands, speedy. Think Hunter Renfrow, the way he can move in tight spaces. Skutnik and Kleitz is a deadly combination that may lift Iroquois to the top of Class B this year. Justice Kleitz for Iroquois is one of our Connolly Cup watch list players entering this season, and for good reason. He's got one of the highest football IQs in Western New York among quarterbacks. The way he looks at a defense, dissects them before the snap, and adjusts the offense based on what he sees is top-notch quality. He could step into multiple college programs right now and have a grasp of how to run the offense. When you have that level of brain and combined with athleticism, boy, oh boy, the Iroquois Redhawks are certainly a team to look out for, thanks to Justice Kleitz. Another team in Class B that knows a thing or two about great quarterback play are the Olean Huskies. Joe Mest enters his 4th season at the helm for Olean, and for 10th-year head coach Phil Vecchio, the Huskies are in good hands. But before we talk about why Mest is such a great player for the Huskies, let's talk about the players around him that make Olean great. Austin Miles, a senior wide receiver, had just 350 receiving yards last year, but 31 receptions and 6 receiving touchdowns. He's expected to take a leap his senior year. Then in the backfield, standing next to Joe Mest, is Dominic Hurleman. 92 carries last season, 4 rushing touchdowns. If Hurleman can find pay dirt a few more times this season, combined with Miles' talent out wide, Olean is certainly a team to look out for, especially later in the season. Now, Joe Mest is on our Connolly Cup watch list this season. Mest, a 4-year starter for the Huskies, had over 1,000 passing yards last season. If his completion percentage can go up just a tad, as he told me he's looking to do this season, if he can get over 50% completion percentage, Joe Mest will be in that conversation for Western New York's MVP award at the end of the year. But for the Huskies to do that, they'll have to have a great regular season, and there are very few weeks off, so to say, in Class B2. Olean will have a tough trip to get to the postseason, but with Mest at the helm and his great group of players surrounding him, look out for the Huskies to sneak into a playoff spot.
With Joe Mest of the Olean Huskies. Joe, looking for your 4th year on varsity now.
Sure.
It's been a long time coming for your senior year. Does it feel like the anticipation's building a little bit?
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't wait. I'm so excited. We got a good group of guys, so I'm really excited.
You're coming back with a lot of talent from last year.
Yeah.
How cool is it to have a lot of your classmates join this journey with you?
It's awesome. And we played together since as long as I can remember. I mean, freshman year, we're still doing stuff together, so it's just sick being able to experience the senior year with the guys that I love.
What has been a focus of yours from last year to this year? Great numbers last season. How do you take it to another level senior year?
I mean, just working hard in the weight room, find it, film, obviously, and just working the little stuff every day.
I've got 2 dark horse teams in Class B for this season. It really is the most wide open class, in my opinion, which leaves the door open for some teams you might not expect to win a few more games than anticipated and perhaps make a run to the sectional championship at Highmark Stadium. The first dark horse team I have are the Williamsville South Billies. This is the 4th season for head coach Joe Licata and the Billies, and they return a star running back. Amir Caesar had over 1,000 yards rushing last season and 15 touchdowns on the ground. He is dynamic and explosive in open space. If Caesar can, first of all, stay healthy throughout the course of this season, as he's dealt with in the past some injuries, the Billies will be a team that can win week in, week out. What's holding them back is perhaps a new quarterback. They've had Caden Overcamp for the last 3 seasons at the helm, and Overcamp was quite comfortable in the pocket and had a pretty good arm on him. If the Billies can find a replacement for Overcamp that's just as talented, if not more, look out for Williamsville South to turn some heads throughout the course of this season in Class B1. They start with a rivalry game, non-league opponent, but Williamsville East, Week 1 on Friday, September 5th. On the road is a great test early for Coach Licata and the Billies. My other dark horse team in Class B are from Depew, the Wildcats. They have a new head coach this year. Joe Pagano takes over the program with a great running back. Finding a theme here? For a dark horse team, you got to have a good offensive line and a good running back. And certainly the Depew Wildcats have that. Zach Bryden-Baker, over 100 carries last year as a sophomore, just over 700 yards on the ground, but a two-way beast. 71 tackles on defense, 9 of those for a loss. Bryden-Baker enters his junior season. He's put on a little more weight. He's been clearly working out in the offseason to improve his physicality this year with a big offensive line and a returning quarterback in Cole Stratter. The Depew Wildcats will be a team to look out for come later in the season.
This Friday Night Lights high school football preview show is presented by Villa Maria College, with additional support from the WNED Foundation.